All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless me here talking real music in real time for a couple of real people out there, just like you and just like me. All right, I'm probably the only person in the country that has this. It hasn't been released yet. Holy crap, Batman. If you like the twanging sounds of, say, Tom Petty's second album, which was or still is entitled You're Gonna Get It. That's what this is all about. This sounds like vintage Tom Petty or vintage Birds music. Notice who's playing drums on this. Can you tell? Can you see it? The middle there? All right, you got Eric on top, and I believe it's Eric Lavra. Could be Lavra or Love. Eric Love or Love. Could be Eric Love. All right, let's go with Eric Love. It's bad. I don't know how to say the guy's name. Eric, Lovre, lead vocals, electric, acoustic, slide guitar, master of all. And then you see Dean Castronovo, drums extraordinaire, and then you've got Beth Dixon. This thing is a juggernaut. It gets released May 20th. You can check out Eric's Facebook page and just spell it out. You don't have to learn how to say it. I do, though. I'm going to say Eric Love. That's what I'm going to say. And if I'm wrong, I'll be corrected soon. And by the way, a good friend of mine sent me the CD. This guy, Dean Castronovo, he sent it to me. So for those of you who, well, you don't know Dean, so shut up. Been doing this for how many years now? You don't know Dean? Yeah, Dean sent it to me. He's playing drums on it, all right? Doesn't come out until May 20th. If you want to hear the first single called Dream About You, I mean, I can't stop listening to the thing because I'm thinking Listen to Her Heart, if you know that song by Tom Petty. Oh, it's just spot on. And yeah, it's a total continuation. Some would say plagiarism. Good. We need more plagiarism. Speaking of plagiarism, Roger Waters. No, I'm kidding. Roger hasn't plagiarized anybody except himself, right? Because he's redoing Dark Side of the Moon. That's one headline. But the bigger headline is Roger is undeterred by being canceled by the Germans. The Germans are canceling Roger Waters. Man, that's just bizarre, right? So Waters took to Twitter to express that he's undeterred and he's determined to perform in Frankfurt, which again is in Germany. Why do I think that's ironic? Well, you know, they're calling Roger an anti-Semite. Germany. They're now experts on anti-Semitism. Oh, gosh. All right. The rocker expressed that human rights and freedom of speech matter more than anything, so he will continue to stand with the Palestinians. Went. Okay, the alarm just went off, right? So a good portion of the United States, and I mean a very large portion, a lot of my conservative friends are going to say, yep, those Palestinians are really bad, even though they're kind of currently living in an open air prison. Seriously, I mean, I'm not saying that violence on either side is justified. All I'm saying is that Roger Waters has taken the side of the Palestinians. And I think good people can disagree on this issue. But what I don't like is when the thought police come out in Frankfurt, Germany, of all places. You know, Pink Floyd's The Wall, didn't it kind of address some of the authoritarian behavior? And I'm thinking some of The Wall may have been inspired by what was going on in Germany back in the 1930s and 40s. I mean, wasn't it? Isn't it? I mean, it's kind of obvious, right? So Roger is going back to Germany, and the Germans are saying, no, you're not welcome here. There is so much irony, it's hard to follow. So again, the city council in Frankfurt, they're basically, you know, telling him he can't go because they have a 60% stake in the rights to the festival. Now, this brings up another point here. Why should state government be involved in the concert industry to this degree. Why? Because everyone is asking for handouts. Hey, build a stadium. Use the tax money to build a stadium. And then the state is going to tell you how to run your stadium. This is madness. Anyway, several high-profile musicians. Nick Mason from Pink Floyd. Of course, we didn't hear from David Gilmour, but we got Nick Mason. We got Eric Clapton. Good for Eric, by the way. And we have Peter Gabriel. Okay, and those are three pretty powerful names in the music industry who have all signed the petition in support of Roger Waters. Frankfurt Council were legally required to respond to Roger Waters' interim injunction by midnight, April 14th. Did they? Nobody knows. We can only guess what's going on in Frankfurt. Are they playing for time? Who knows? So Roger says, guess what? It doesn't matter. We're coming anyway because human rights matter, because free speech matters. Yes, Frankfurt City Council, our fathers stood with those 3,000 Jewish men, and today we stand with the Palestinians. We're coming to Frankfurt on the 28th of May. So Waters makes a good point here, is that his dad and others in the UK, especially, and in places like Russia, I know people don't want to hear that, helped end what was one of the most brutal events in human history, which, of course, had to do with, the Nazis basically trying to take over the world. And that's why Roger has a different point of view when it comes to the war in Ukraine, even though he doesn't like Vladimir Putin. He said so on several occasions. But he agrees that, basically everybody in NATO helped instigate what is currently going on, which is a proxy war. And by the way, we found out the other day through those leaks that you're not supposed to talk about that the United States has soldiers on the ground, according to the leaks, allegedly. Okay, let me put that in there. Allegedly, possibly. Is anyone really surprised if that's true? And people should know about it. And this is the point. We're not being told the truth. So I guess kudos to Roger Waters. I don't know if he's not going to be surrounded by a whole bunch of military or police who will try to escort him away from the stadium. He's playing a rock concert. All right. He's not instigating a war. He's playing a rock concert, and he has a different view on what's happening between Israel and Palestine. In the old days, we used to call that free speech. Now we call it either hate speech, or we've got other terms, dangerous speech, and he's obviously a Putin puppet, or he's a puppet of some regime that we're all supposed to hate. And I'm not saying there aren't threats in the world, but I think we are entering into a new world order where things are going to be radically different moving forward. And all of your old thoughts and associations and ideas on geopolitics, I think those are mostly out the window. And the United States, by the way, we're not really a player in any of this. We're just not. We are not behaving like the country that is in control of things, because we've lost control of our own country. So we really have no standing. We have no credibility around the world. Anyway, I applaud Roger Waters for just doing free speech. I didn't always agree with this, by the way. I used to say, shut up and sing. Laura Ingraham wrote a book years ago called Shut Up and Sing. And I think she has some points in there that are relevant when people start to talk about things that they don't have any idea about, just to be trendy. This is what rock stars do most of the time. Roger Waters, on the other hand, he's got a really good grasp of things because he studies, he reads. And so to me, I think it's credible. Now, you may disagree. You may just want to support musicians that don't bring in these issues and don't politicize their concerts. I understand you don't want to be preached at when you go to a concert. And by the way, again, I don't agree with everything that Roger Waters talks about. He talks about rights for people who have a lot of mental health issues. Rather than getting those folks the help they need, he would rather kind of, coddle them and support them in their state of declining mental health, rather than, saying, hey, maybe you should go see someone and get treatment because that's what you really need, rather than living a lie and forcing everybody else to go along with it and to support it, which I think is really scary. What's not scary is this brand new album called Twilight Dream. Eric Love with Dean Castronovo on drums. The single is out there. Go listen to Dream About You. It's up on YouTube. Eric Love, L-O-V-R-E. Dream About You. You can check out his Facebook page. This is twangin' Tom Petty, baby. This is like Tom Petty's second album. I love it. I used to have the vinyl of that record. My friends used to look at me and they're like, I don't remember this. And I go, it's before our time. So I went backward and I bought all the Tom Petty stuff because, hey, my first big concert driving away from where I lived on the Cape Cod, Massachusetts, was in Worcester, Massachusetts, at the Centrum, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Long After Dark tour was absolutely incredible. Just incredible, amazing. Tom Petty, one of the great musicians of all time. Rest in peace. But yeah, when you listen to this album, you're going to hear some of that sound that Tom and the Byrds and a few other bands, but those two in particular, you're going to hear the Byrds and you're going to hear vintage Tom Petty, which I don't know how you can go wrong with that. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching the channel. Please support me. Hit the bell for notifications on new videos. That's if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, please do that. Subscribe to the channel. I wonder sometimes, I look at my stats. I have a lot of people that aren't subscribed, like they don't want to give me credit for a subscription or something. But if you have ever thought about subscribing, do that. And supporting, you can do $1 a month. You could do that over on Patreon. And you can also get a YouTube membership, which is just $2.99 a month, the most affordable tier in the grouping. I think, you could do like $100 a month or something like that. But all I want is $2.99. And, $1 or $2 a month on Patreon is great. It keeps the channel going and supporting and all that stuff. And I really do need that support as revenue tends to ebb and flow, as I think I'm being throttled back a little bit compared to some other channels. But again, low production value, but high intelligence, right? Or at least I'd like to think so, but most people disagree. I just keep going anyway. I know it's annoying. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.